So today I'm going to give you something that you can use at home for self-care to help with things like headaches or migraines or maybe chronic neck pain. And I'm just going to give you about 8 tips that you can use that you can do at any time. So right now we're just going to start with this area called your temporal muscle, and it's a pretty big muscle. But what you're going to do is you're just going to do little tiny circles right along here. You can do as many as you want. You can even do really big circles and as much pressure as you want. So when you feel like you're done there, then you're going to move on into this little joint area right here. And again, you're just going to kind of dig in there so it feels really good. You can even reverse the circles. Great. Now we're going to move into the mandible section, this lower part of your jaw. So again, just want to kind of work your way all the way to the front. You can work your way back. Whatever feels good, really. What you're trying to do here is just break up this tissue that gets so tight from the clenching and or grinding that can happen throughout the day. So once you feel like you have that mandible area kind of good and warmed up, now you want to take your knuckles, take your fist like this, and I want you to get right under your cheekbone area, and you can just kind of knead it, and whew, I can feel it's pretty tight on me. But you just kind of want to work your way with as much pressure or as little pressure as you can handle, and just work your way around like that. Great. So it should already start to feel a little looser. So next, you want to take your fingertips and you want to go into the base of your skull. It's called your occipital ridge. And so basically just take the tips of your fingers and find that ridge back there and just kind of, again, knead it. Just get right under that ridge. And so you want to start towards the middle where that cervical spine is, and you want to just move your way out. And you want to work your way all the way up to into that joint right in there. Great. And so next, to continue to get into that occipital ridge a little further and deeper, take your right hand and just cross over and come into that occipital ridge, coming down the side of your spine. And then of course, do your other side. And again, just do this as long as you can stand it and until it starts to feel a little looser. So everything should start to feel better at this point. So next, you want to come into this area called this lingual area. It's the bottom of your mouth. So I like to just take my thumbs and just gently get as far back here as you can, and then just start working your way up like this. Of course, I'm doing it a little quicker right now for the sake of this video, but just take your time with this. Just work your way up. And then once you've done those little circular motions, then you kind of want to strip it. So you can just strip, which just feels so great. And then I like to just do a little pinch and roll. And I'm sure my cheeks are probably starting to get all red, which is good. Getting a lot of blood flow and just creating just movement in the jaw, because everything can tend to get really stuck. And so then the final movement that I want to show you, and this one feels really, really good. So you have these little scalene muscles that come up next to your throat and in the front of your neck, and they connect to your clavicle, your collarbone. And what can happen is these scalenes can start to shorten when we clench or grind. So everything starts to shorten. So a good stretch that you can do, now that you've kind of warmed all this tissue up, now you can go into the stretch, which that's a good point to remember when you're doing any of these self-care movements. Always try to warm the tissue up first. So you're gonna take your right hand, you're gonna go to your left pec, just below the collarbone here. And then you're gonna reinforce it with your other hand. So you're gonna kind of push into the chest and then down. And as you do that, you're gonna take a nice deep breath through your nose. So, and then stretch and pull down. And hold that as long as you can. And then come over to the other side, do the same thing. So, and you're gonna feel it just kind of pull. But if you can do this every day, once, maybe even twice a day, I think you're gonna really notice a difference in just some of your pain levels that have to do with your head and neck. And that's it for today. Thanks.